What you just saw were some of the first glimpses of a project we've been very excited to share with you for a long time now, Beyond Melee. Beyond Melee is a rollback-compatible game that sets out to take what you love about competitive Melee and expand upon it with heaps of exciting new content. Over the past year and a half, we've created additional characters, stages, mechanics, and educated reimaginings of Melee's original cast. More importantly though, Beyond Melee was created with the express purpose of carefully curating gameplay scenarios fit for tournament matches at every level of play for years to come. I'm Him Yojo, the director of Beyond Melee, and if you want to know more about this project, you are in luck. For the next half hour, we'll be showing why you should play Beyond Melee. But all this doesn't come from just me alone. In fact, I'll need some help from those who worked on this massive project with me for the last year.
I'm Janther, coding lead on Beyond Melee and the creator of Raichu.
I'm Sunset, a balanced lead and animation director for Beyond Melee. We're far from the only team members though. This project is a result of the combined effort of dozens of individuals working their asses off. We're very excited to share that hard work with you now, so let's get right into it. The idea that sets Beyond Melee apart from previous attempts at new games based on the Melee engine is simple: informed design. It's been many years since a project like this was attempted, and in those years, the community has come to learn a lot more about Melee. For example, a balance mod made in 2021 would be unlikely to significantly buff Captain Falcon, given his recent success at top-level play. I'm sure immediately you're comparing Beyond Melee to Project M, and that's fair. We see it too, so much so that for all of the duration of the project, we've had various Project M and Project Plus developers on the team, including Lunchables, Birdman, Arsenals, and even Cephalon. We consulted them when they were available, learning a lot about the Project M development process. One of the most impactful things we learned was that Project M development never had a clear direction in their game design. Much of Project M development was more of a make a cool thing first, try to make it balanced later type philosophy. This led to tons of amazing, iconic, and creative ideas, but many characters and moves would still need to be reworked multiple times due to this philosophy, and would still feel confusing, boring, or unintuitive to fight against after all the reworks, even as late as Project Plus. The most frustrating part of this is that Project Plus has no future content balance updates or features planned. What you see is what you get, and we think the community should have a different option than having to fight against Squirtle's armor and small hurtbox, Snake's combo-breaking grenades, or a Wario camping for his waft to recharge. Or King Dedede. This discussion brings us to Beyond Melee's informed design. An example of informed design is understanding the distinction between game balance and game design. Modern competitive Melee has a certain balance to its gameplay. One of fast-paced aggression balanced perfectly, sometimes, with adrenaline-filled fight-or-flight defensive play. It's a balance that the more underpowered characters in Melee throw off in a pretty extreme way. Put simply, many of the characters who are lower on the tier list are playing a completely different game with each other. Most of their kits, by sheer coincidence, discourage the kind of breakneck-paced decision-making that makes Melee so iconic and fun to play, instead pushing the game in a slower, more defensive, and repetitive direction. Beyond Melee has opted instead to redesign the aspects of these characters that cause these design faults, which we'll talk about a lot more as we go forward. But first, something entirely new.
Raichu isn't just a Pikachu clone. Almost all of his moves are entirely new, but stay true to the spirit of the Pikachu lineage. His neutral special is Electro Ball, a strong projectile that is slow to come out, slow to travel across the stage, but if it hits you, you're likely to be comboed to death. You quickly see this is a pattern with this character. At first, his up special seems very similar to Pikachu's, but under the hood it works much differently. It has a longer startup and only has a hitbox at the end of the zip. If you hit with this hitbox, you can cancel your up special into a jump, aerial, or air dodge. Side special is similar to Pikachu's in the air. On the ground, however, it becomes Volt Tackle. Raichu runs pretty slow normally, but he moves much faster during Volt Tackle. Storm across the screen to catch your opponents, chase after your Electro Ball, or jump cancel it to open up even more options. Fade back with a Wave Dash to trick your opponents, or jump in with a shocking surprise attack. Down special is smaller than Pikachu's Thunder, but it packs a wallop. The Storm Cloud is a meteor which sends the opponents directly to Raichu for the explosive finisher. His aerials are all entirely fresh, but draw inspiration from his previous evolutions. Raichu is the slowest character in Beyond Melee, but with a great variety of unique tools at his disposal, Raichu is a complete package and he packs a serious punch.
You've seen Wolf before, and our Wolf is a greatest hits compilation of what you love most about this character. Not to mention, for his appearance in Beyond Melee, he has a totally original model. All of his specials work how you'd expect, but have slight tweaks here and there to align better with Beyond Melee's balance and design guidelines. Let's cover a couple unfamiliar bits first. Forward air and up air send at just the right angle and knockback to create a really interesting DI mix-up tree, making tough decisions for both players. Down tilt is a sex kick launcher with a fresh animation. Dash attack's animation is inspired by Ultimate Wolf. Bear is more of a swinging kick with no lingering hitboxes that sends at a low angle and hurts like hell to get hit by. Otherwise, he's mostly what you'd expect. Players who loved Wolf in any of his other iterations will love him just as much in Beyond Melee.
Faye is a weapon specialist, lost in time. Though she's only made an official appearance in the Forgotten Star Fox 2, Faye feels both familiar and completely new. Her moveset is inspired by Fox from the original Super Smash Bros., with tons of new twists. Most notably, her specials, like her sniper, the pop. Fox, Falco, and Wolf all have iconic blasters, but they can't hold a candle to the pop. She isn't always stuck with the slow sniper, no, she can switch to a weaker version of Falco's laser. Hold B and A to swap between the pistol and the sniper. This swap is also useful for turning Faye around in the air. Her shine is also unique from other species, sending neatly up and behind her to set up for brutal combo sequences. Faye's up special is definitely the least flexible of the space animals, as it's only able to move straight up. However, you can charge it by holding B, allowing you to mix up your recovery distances. You might be thinking, wow, that recovery sucks. Nah, it's bitchin'. Side special is a recovery move, much like it is for other species, but this one is really, really different. Blast yourself with your own rocket back to the stage with this flexible, yet extremely self-punishing recovery option. Better get good at wall jump teching. It's also a fun little projectile on stage, but using it isn't really a threat. Her side special isn't the only place her missile launcher is used. Her up air, down air, and back air put the hefty weapon to good use, blasting opponents upwards and downwards and launching them sideways with a powerful thwack. Faye isn't your everyday spacey, but she's still part of the Star Fox family, and you'll feel that way when you play her soon.
Shadow Mewtwo bursts into Beyond Melee with a diverse and unique moveset. He has similarities to Mewtwo in appearance, but in gameplay he couldn't be more different. Shadow Mewtwo's signature mechanic is his ability to Mega Evolve. That's right, Mega Evolution is making its first appearance in competitive Smash. You can Mega Evolve with down B once you've dealt 60% to your opponent with A button attacks. Watch your meter rise with damage, and plan your match around your next Mega Evolution. Mega Shadow Mewtwo deals more damage and knockback on all of his moves than his normal form, and he moves faster as well. You remain in your Mega form unless you whiff attacks, get hit, or your opponent dies. You can refill meter while Mega Evolved by landing more attacks though, so if you want to keep the momentum in your favor, make smart plays. Mega Evolution is great, but that's not the only surprise up his sleeve. Shadow Mewtwo, ironically, has no Shadow Ball. Instead, press Neutral Special to activate Light Pillar. As you hold B, an indicator travels across the stage. Let go of the button to activate the beam. It's solid for both shield pressure and combos, however, it's quite slow to start up and slow to cool down. It's a commitment, but you can use this move to extend tech chases, combos, or to punish campy opponents. Next, he has a completely reworked up B. It's based on some of his moves from Pokken. He has less positional mix-ups than Mewtwo does with his teleport, but don't let that fool you into thinking he can't recover. You have restricted angles to start with, but you can curve through the air with the control stick. For his normals, a stylish new back air with startling range allows Shadow Mewtwo to set up for edge guards or finish them. He gets a new down tilt that's slower to start and finish than Mewtwo's, but it's great at setting up into his scary aerial finishers, even scarier when he's Mega Evolved. Based on his sword moves from Pokken, Shadow Mewtwo gets an ice-cold up tilt to juggle opponents or send them to the stars. A new up smash more in line with his other two smash attacks, a fiery forward air that launches forward, a startlingly strong forward throw, and so many more unique aspects that set this character apart from Mewtwo. With all of these new moves, and Mega Evolution as the cherry on top, Shadow Mewtwo brings a lot of new concepts to the Melee landscape, which makes him a must-play in the Beyond Melee roster.
The tricky terror of Termina wreaks his havoc on the Beyond Melee cast with his speed and mischievous mix-ups. His counter is actually a curse, planting a poisonous flower on his opponent's head. But the counterplay is what you'd expect. Except for one thing. Skull Kid's side special looks like his counter, but don't be fooled. Try to punish it, and you'll be hit away just before he teleports to safety. You'll have to be ready for Skull Kid's tricks. Being ready for Skull Kid will be hard, though. He's fast, making an escape from his wrath difficult. He'll control a ton of space by threatening with his float, which ends when he uses aerials. Next, neutral special is a Mine of Darkness. Press B to spawn it, then throw it with A or the C stick. Tap the B button again to make it explode and set up for unique combos. Control space with your mine, making it all the more clear that nowhere is safe from Majora's Wrath. Finally, his up special is a teleport that can only go straight up, allowing him to recover from well below the stage. His smash attacks hold startling range for a character as small as him, reaching similar distances to Marth with his dangerous tendrils. Skull Kid's up air and bair aren't too out of the ordinary, except for the fact that they both turn him around in the air. Not only does he have a float, but you'll need to be ready for any attack to come at you from any direction. For the rest of his kit, every single move is extremely fresh. Nothing is borrowed, everything is original, and everything inspires dread. Skull Kid will take your stock, it's only a matter of time.
Now, onto Melee's original cast. Beyond Melee is more than just additional characters. It's a complete rework of Melee as a game in a variety of ways. Our goal for these changes is to firstly change characters to be fun to play against, but also a balanced game which adheres strictly to the spirit of Melee, fast-paced, up-close, decision-based combat. Many characters have more extreme changes than others to reach this goal, some so extreme that they haven't been finished in time for Demo 1. Stay tuned for future releases. For now though, let's go over what's been changed about the characters that are here. We'll go in reverse order of the 2021 Melee tier list.
Bowser is a sluggish brute of a character, but his first appearance in Smash might have taken that idea a bit too far. We've made him quicker and smoother to move around with, but he's still slow and hard-hitting compared to the rest of the cast. He's received a new down air, a slow but explosively powerful meteor. To cap it off, his neutral special now launches a powerful fireball. To charge this fireball, you need to grab your opponent. Grab normally to get a half-size fireball, grab with side special and get the full fireball. This creates a good incentive for Bowser to win neutral with up-close, engaging, fast-paced combat, while traditional charging methods like a passive timer encourage camping and more passive play until the charging is complete. When Bowser gets his fireball by attacking you as the opponent, you have an active role in whether Bowser acquires this resource, just as Bowser does. This kind of active player agency from both sides is something we try to encourage with all our design choices. You'll see a lot of changes made in service of this goal as we move forward.
Zelda's kit has been reworked entirely. Instead of having only a few useful moves, her entire kit is now loaded with purpose. She has a new double kick down air and single hit combo nair that both set up into her devastating kill aerials. She's quicker than you'd expect too. With all of these new tools, buffs, and a fresh look, Zelda is a character that demands respect and absolutely kicks ass.
This little rat is overflowing with electric energy. But unlike other iterations of his character, he has good reason to use it. With a self-damaging shine, hard-hitting new back air, a meteor, a threatening grab game, familiar spacey attributes, and blistering speed, Pichu brings a whole new meaning to the glass cannon archetype. On top of all those strengths, he's the most fragile character in the game, so if you play him, make sure you hit just as hard.
Once a quirky Marth imitator with few strengths to call his own, Roy now has a distinct identity. A new jab, down smash, improved dash attack, up tilt and forward tilt, and slightly quicker run speed make Roy really shine on the ground. His combo aerials have been retooled to consistently set up into more grounded action, and he's been given a new back air to finish the job in spectacular fashion. Roy is one of the most comboable characters in Melee, but now he can trap his opponents in a soul-crushing punish vortex of his own.
Still holding on to his roots as a legendary whiff punisher in Melee's metagame, and beyond Melee, Mewtwo has many more tools to demand respect from his opponent, and heavy retooling to discourage more passive play. He has a multitude of buffs, one of the biggest being his ability to not have his tail weigh him down so badly. In vanilla Melee, Mewtwo's tail is always a hurt box, and beyond Melee, it's invincible. But only in neutral. This way, Mewtwo's dash dance and neutral game are very functional, yet he still doesn't lose his identity by becoming a sortie. There's other common sense changes, like making it jab functional, giving it a jab 2, making side special both reflect and combo, and so much more. Finally, he has the ability to perform rising aerials by holding the jump button while double jumping. This change to his mobility cements him as a tangible threat to all opponents.
Link has been powered up in Beyond Melee. Many of his moves overall have damage buffs, giving him a serious edge once he's penetrated his opponent's defenses. To help him do this, his arrow is especially stronger. It's now an important and creative combo tool in his legendary moveset.
Young Link is the first character on this list who didn't have many design flaws or need as many tools or buffs to help him succeed. So these lists will be a bit shorter from here on. A new forward smash and forward air inspired by the jump slash from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. The end of the fair has a meteor effect, opening up both his combo and neutral game. Forward smash is a slower, half-tier move that hits like a truck. Up smash is now a single hit as well, helping him in entire situations.
DK is a character who didn't need much to get results, but we gave him plenty to work with anyway. A small speed boost, an air that comes out twice as fast, tweaked grab game, and a dash attack that, of course, rolls off the ledge. How could we resist?
Dr. Mario has finally gone to med school, and along with a medical degree, he's learned a thing or two about combat. His new stomp was added in service of the larger goal of revamping his combo game. Most of his tools have been buffed to help him string hits together, so he'll deal big damage whenever he gets his hands on you. So much for the Hippocratic Oath.
Doc got increased power, but Mario might have gotten the sweeter end of the deal. Increased speed. Mario is faster than ever, with few other buffs to his power level. The speed change alone blows his kit wide open, letting him combo like you'd never imagined. His new up smash packs a meaty punch. Put that speed to good use and get moving.
Captain Falcon's evil clone gets a lot of flack for his slow speed, so we've given Side Special a little something to speed him up. If you land it in the air, you can cancel the attack into a jump, air dodge, or aerial. There's a lot of creative and tricky ways to put this to use. He's got a hugely powerful new up smash, and his up tilt is now a grounded version of his iconic stomp. Top all that off with improvements to his attributes in neutral air, and you've got a wizard who's worth your time.
Samus has been retuned for faster play with a more natural flow. Charge Shot can now be charged in the air. Her up smash is also now a functional, beautiful move that's based on her parry from Samus Returns. Lastly, her bomb jumps are now limited to 2 per air time, which speeds up her recovery process for a more engaging experience for both players. These changes together may seem small, but in practice, she's very fresh.
Pikachu's Bane has always been the floatier section of the cast, so to fill out his matchup spread, he has a new down throw that actually combos them. Honestly, this was all he really needed, but we gave him some of what he didn't know he wanted, with a stronger back air, faster down B, and more damage on his up air.
Peach's changes are largely about intentionality, which feeds into Beyond Melee's removal of random mechanics. This means Peach is no longer ever inclined to camp to find a stitch. Peach always pulls normal turnips now, except for when she's done 300% with A moves through the course of a match. In practice, she gets roughly 1 stitch a game versus fast followers, and sometimes 2 versus floaty characters. Oh, and she can choose which F-Smash item to use.
Falcon only got one real change to bring him more in line with Beyond Melee. His Gentleman is more consistent like it is in PAL. His Nipple Spike also has a fire effect, so that it's distinguishable from the Meteor hit.
Sheik's chain grabs are a problem in Melee, but when the list of viable characters Sheik can chain grab goes from 1, maybe 2, to something like 1 dozen, maybe 2 dozen, it becomes a catastrophe. So we changed it. Down throw and up throw are now a DI mix-up, but their knockback also scales less with percent than vanilla Sheik's down throw. This means that in super high percent situations, she can, if she guesses right, get a combo hit where she wouldn't be able to in vanilla. The goal was not to nerf or buff Sheik's throws, but make them more exciting and DI mix-up based.
Falco's insanely strong, but he aligns with the project's goals very closely. His only changes are tweaks to damage output, and a nerf to the damage of his laser to discourage camping.
Melee's Balloon of Nightmares has a handful of important tweaks, most notably an overhaul to rest. It has far less lag than vanilla, but also far less knockback. This makes it so that it kills at a more normal percent ranges, but also doesn't end your life on both hit and whiff. Pound can now be used once per jump, and her up special has been reworked to become Healing Song, healing both herself and her opponent. Both of these changes are to discourage any kind of stalling. At the end of the day, it's unclear if this version of Puff is more of a buff or a nerf, and we're excited to see what the answer is.
Marth's only significant changes are to his early percent gimps through tweaks to his counter, encouraging mix-ups from both Marth and his opponent. We also tweaked his damage output, just a tad.
Fox is just how you remember him feeling. The only change is that his damage output has been pulled back slightly on some moves, but you'd never notice if we hadn't pointed it out to you.
This is the frozen stadium you're familiar with, but we also tweaked other pieces of the stage you might not expect, all in the service of increased visibility. We heavily changed the geometry of the edges and adjusted the nauseating camera, letting you see more of the game than ever.
Shy Guys have been removed, and we tweaked some of Randall's behavior. He no longer messes up your ledge dashes, as he disappears when he gets close to the stage. This also opens up possibilities for unique new combos that weren't quite doable before.
As you can see, Battlefield has gotten a makeover. Above the ledge, it's a very similar Battlefield to the one you know and love, with a slightly lower top platform. However, below the ledge, we've obviously changed some things, and we're certain you'll like the changes for the better. No more of this shit.
You were worried we got rid of the beautiful Melee Battlefield, weren't you? Nope, she's been reshaped into small Battlefield. There are proper ledges, and we removed the top platform, resulting in a familiar feeling stage with impactful changes.
From the Johto region, enjoy Sprout Tower, a delightful, spacious biplat stage with somewhat cramped blast zones, and low walls that provide fun off-stage shenanigans.
Small FD is similar to the FD you know, but the often repetitive combos lead to edgeguards a bit sooner. The length reduction does a lot to make the stage more manageable in polarizing matchups.
Fountain initially seems the same, but below the surface we've adjusted the platforms to be on a consistent, not randomized timer. The platforms also never dip down quite as low as they used to. It's still quirky, but way more competitive.
Dreamland is just as you remember, but it's gotten a makeover, sorta? Seems more like some kind of post-apocalyptic wasteland. Wispy's seen better days, and he won't be blowing players around the stage again anytime soon. I'm sure there aren't any lessons to take away from this. The name change was purely for stylistic reasons. Moving on.
Smashville isn't the same as it is in other games. The moving platform in Beyond Melee has more limited horizontal movement, to better reward center stage control, and prevent giving free outs to seemingly hopeless recoveries. Beyond Melee brings more to the table than just stages, characters, and content. We changed some key parts of how the game works at its core. Most significantly, Beyond Melee has a ledge grab limit. After grabbing the ledge a few times in a row, on the next ledge grab, you no longer get any invincibility. Mashing is a fantastic way to break your pretty new controller's weakest and most crucial parts as quickly as possible. the analog stick and the stick box. That's something we decided we could attempt to address in Beyond Melee. So, mashing with the analog stick is actually useless. Instead, you can only mash via the face buttons on the controller. The face buttons now do 3 times the amount of mash as they would in vanilla Melee, so don't expect anyone to be holding you for very long. Finally, we changed the projectile damage ratio from half to 1, meaning that reflecting projectiles is more rewarding than ever. Moving on from engine changes, our last mechanical change comes in the form of rollback compatible per-player toggles for tap jump and auto L cancel. In local versus, push D-pad left on the character select screen to turn off tap jump. Push D-pad left again to turn it back on. Push D-pad right instead to toggle auto L cancel. In rollback online matches, hold D-pad left until the announcer says go to turn off tap jump, or hold L to turn on ALC. To use both, simply hold both L and D-pad left. The ALC and tap jump toggles are per player, so if you don't want to develop bad habits, but your opponent is more used to Ultimate or Project M, or just doesn't want to break their hands, they can lighten the load for themselves. If a player has tap jump off or auto L cancel on, small indicators will appear on the HUD below their percent. This way, even if the tournament takes place online, TOs can tell if a player has turned on ALC, and players will be able to tell if they successfully activated the toggles. This isn't exactly a mechanic, but no, that's not an editing trick. We have a combo counter. It can even tell the difference between true combos and strings. For more detailed information on engine changes, check the website or ask in our Discord.
Beyond Melee offers a unique opportunity for a completely fresh take on tournament sets, stage striking, counterpicking, and everything in between. There's a lot to learn from how Melee, Project M, Ultimate, and other games deal with this set of problems, and we found an educated answer to the dread and polarity of the stage list in 3 out of 5s in particular. First off, in Beyond Melee, our legal stages are the most toned down and normal feeling of any competitive Smash game stage list. This alone really sets Beyond Melee apart. Secondly, the recommended Beyond Melee rule set uses the 9 stages previously listed, and we encourage tournament organizers to rotate the starters periodically due to the flexibility and normalness of the Beyond Melee stage list. Thirdly, all counterpicks should be character first, stage second. This is something the Project M community figured out was the best method to encourage variety on top of actually giving power to the counterpicker. Finally, every counterpick should first start with 3 bans by the previous game's winner, with no DSR. We think you'll really enjoy this rule set if you try it out. Tons of variety, great stages, and actually powerful counterpicks. So, you might have noticed some old favorites are missing from the character select screen. We know, they haven't been abandoned, their redesigns simply aren't complete yet. They're coming, along with more brand new characters, game modes, stages, and skins. But this project depends on you. If you like what we're doing, download the game, play it with friends, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, enter Beyond Melee tournaments, and if you really like what we're doing, you can support us on Patreon. If there are some things you don't like or bugs you encounter, we have feedback forms for the project. Your feedback could be instrumental in improving or changing the game. If you want to help us improve and add to the game directly, we also have developer application forms you can fill out for us to take a look at. In particular, 3D character animators, please apply. The truth is, we do not consider Beyond Melee Demo 1 to be a complete package. Many aspects of it were more rushed than we would have liked to be able to present it in time at Rollback Rumble the big one. It was an opportunity we couldn't say no to, even if it meant the first release of the game would be a little bit less perfect than we would want. Be prepared for some bugs and oversights here and there. We're working on it. All in all, we're very excited to see what everyone thinks of the game, and what kind of creative new ways to play we'll see explored in the coming days. Beyond Melee is a game that opens up a lot of possibilities that have never been seen before, and the long process of exploring those possibilities will remain wild and fun from start to finish. We're confident about that, not just because we've added so much new content to the game, but we also spent a lot of time fine-tuning to get it just right, with a heavy focus on game design and over 1.5 years of development with our high design standards in mind. We are absolutely sure that Beyond Melee is a game that can be enjoyed by countless players, competitively and casually, for years to come. Thank you so much for sticking with us throughout this presentation. We already have some tournaments planned, and the smash.gg link can be found with !BM in the chat, or on our Twitter or Discord. We hope to play against you soon.
this what you wanted?
さんこんばんは。
It's a beast.
Bitches mad juice.
All right. Welcome to the Beyond Melee demonstration. I'm Ham Yojo, the director of the project.
And I'm Frywing, lead developer of the project.
Yep, we are we are two of like 30 developers on this project who have been working on it for an entire year. So let me give you some backstory to why I started this project. It actually first started as a pretty simple melee balance mod because I've been a competitive melee player for like a decade now, and I've also been a competitive PM player. At one point, I was arguably the best PM Yoshi in the world, but I only became the best Yoshi because I knew he was really fucked up in specifically PM 3.5. And I wanted to show the world that he was. So if you look at old PM 3.5 videos of me, you'll see me beating a lot of old project and developers multiple times with Yoshi, with the sole purpose of showing them what I thought was dumb and annoying about the character. For example, back then Yoshi had a ton of really annoying shield grabs, or chain grabs. He had an invincible shield he could jump out of. He basically had a Tekken Play Shine, and all kinds of other stuff. And they got it fixed by 3.6. And that was my first taste of being like, oh, I can just make games better. I can just do that. And then I had that feeling again whenever P Plus 2.0 came out, and there was Knuckles. Instantly, I had a connection with the character, but I knew also that there were some parts of him that just weren't quite fun enough. It's not a matter of how strong or weak the characters are, or how, or even how like comboable they are. It's mostly about like what is their win condition and how fun to play against does that sound to me. So even though I was winning with Knuckles and I enjoyed the character, I knew there was a lot wrong with him, and I pestered the P Plus developers to try and make the character more fun to fight as and against, because I knew there were ways to do it, and they just refused to. P Plus is basically a done project. I get that they don't want to redesign characters, and I think PM and P Plus are amazing games and extremely fun. But I knew in my heart of hearts there could be something better out there. So I first started with a pretty humble and small melee balance mod, and over time we added developers, all of whom knew a bigger scope than just a balance mod as possible. And with the foundation of my balance philosophy, followed by tons and tons of amazing developers contributing so much time and energy to the project, this ended up being the first Smash project ever to be built from the ground up for really high-level competitive play back and forth between both players, instead of just a game like, frankly, P+, that has characters like Snake and his combo-breaking bombs, Squirtle and a small hurt box, while also being very fast and having armor. Bowser, who they made viable just by armor, which like takes away a huge part of the depth of what Melee has to offer, and other stuff like that. A lot of really high-level P+ players, if you talk to them, will tell you P+ is a great game, but it would be better if it was only the most fun to fight against 15 characters in the game instead of all the characters that are there. And that really made a lot of sense to me. And it didn't exist yet, so I wanted to make it exist. And over time, I don't know if we're there yet, but I think we are on the way to getting there. On top of character design, I knew stage design was something that could get stronger over time as well. So you'll see let me wait for Randall to show up. You'll see for Yoshi's story, we made it so that Randall doesn't mess up your character's ledge dashes anymore, which also makes him assist recoveries a little bit less often. So he's still fun and quirky, but he won't kill you when things go wrong. There's a lot of other little changes like that the Beyond Melee team has made, such as making Fountain of Dreams platforms a lot more consistent by being on a timer instead of random, and make them not hang out at that weird low height that messes up all your movement. So that's the core of the Beyond Melee, or that's like the heart and how Beyond Melee really started, which is like I saw a gap in the market of the first well-designed from the ground up competitive Smash game. And now here we are, and it has Rollback and a bunch of new characters and Skull Kid. You might feel playing the game that there's a handful of disjointed aspects to it, such as like to be completely frank, the quality of Raichu is a little bit different than the quality of Skull Kid. We know that. We were on a timeline, and different developers worked on different characters at different rates with different amounts of time. And we plan on actually, over time, upping the quality of specifically Raichu's animations to match Skull Kid's. That's very important to us, and we know we can make it happen. You just got to understand that we were on a time budget pretty hard.
Yeah, this is definitely a actively in development project, and we are happy we got to release it as early as it is to all of you, but there's definitely a lot of work to be done. And we're actually, looking for more talented people to help us with that. Just visit our Discord if you're interested. Definitely would love it if you did that.
Yep, we want good people on the team. And the game, I think everyone can see it's not done yet. Just the core ideas and a lot of the Beyond Melee right now is a vertical slice of what it could be, and we are completely aware of that. But yeah, I'm very happy with the vertical slice where it's at overall.
So we're actually taking questions from chat. So if anyone in chat has a request for things they want to see for the next match, just point them out.
Yep. So one thing I saw that a lot of people had a lot of concern with upon first inspection is tap jump toggle and automatic L canceling. So we didn't implement those mechanics until they were visible on screen when happening. That way TOs can see whenever a player is using auto L cancel or not, and it can be up to the TO's discretion whether or not they allow that at their event. That is very intentional, and in general, when you release a game, you can't really know what the community is going to do with it. In fact, PM and obviously Ultimate never gave an actual recommended rule set to their events. We're the first one to really attempt that, and we didn't even mention tap jump toggles and auto L cancel stuff because we think that should really be up to different regions, different levels of play. If you're living in a region that doesn't have very many Melee tournaments and it's just mostly Ultimate players wanting to learn Melee stuff, you should probably allow tap jump toggle at that event and auto L cancels. But if you're a Melee heavy region or you're at a national, it makes sense to disable it. You can do whatever you want. The option's there. In general, one of my major goals for this project is I want to play. You shout at me. You play someone else. That's
Okay.
my guy. In general, there's a lot of parts of Beyond Melee that leave a lot of options to the player and to TOs. You'll see in the direct we also... Sorry, presentation. I'm not allowed to say direct. You'll see also in the presentation we said that TOs should maybe do local rotating rule sets for the starters of every map. We kind of couldn't decide what the best starters were, and we decided that was a fun way to get the community kind of more actively involved in the design process by changing out which rules, which stages, and stuff like that they feel would be best. Another big concern I saw is the concern of nerfing top tiers. I am a competitive Melee Sheik player and have been for 10 years. I feel it. I know what's up. The specific top tier changes we did, they were a little bit more precise than you might expect. You'll see that every single damage output change we did was within 2% of what it was in vanilla. That way, in terms of on-hit hit lag and on-hit shield pressure, the muscle memory is exactly the same. But the overall damage output and rate of kills is a tiny bit lower, while making everything very familiar and even good enough to practice with for competitive Melee.
Okay, so I saw a question.
Sure.
Will you be adding a buffer?
Buffer. So
buffer.
What's up?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
We do want to add a buffer. That is a very complicated thing to do, but we would love to add a buffer option for Ultimate and maybe some PM players who want it. In general, I'm the person who made Diet Melee, so I don't think it's very surprising that accessibility is very important to me, and even accessibility to Ultimate players. And part of the best way to do that is to tweak parts of the game or add options to the game to make it better for different kinds of players. Melee's buffer is very unusual in competitive games for being as low as it is. So it can be pretty hard for a lot of different kinds of people to get used to what Melee has to offer.
I think
You
we're
can
open-
call what we're making training wheels, and I get that, but yeah, I mean, training wheels are a good product for a reason, and y'all probably use them as kids whenever you're learning to ride bikes. So if you want people to play Melee, I think training wheels is not a bad place to start.
Yeah, we're basically open to all kinds of accessibility options, and the keyword there is options, so it's not going to be things that you're forced into. We want to make as many people able to play the game as possible. Melee is not the most accessible game, and hopefully this mod could be a little more accessible for some people.
Yep. I mean, honestly, that's kind of part of what made me excited about new characters, is Melee is such a daunting game to get into if you're not already a Melee player. Because, like, what are you going to do? Pick one of the characters that everyone has 6,000 years of experience against and just hope you can get good in your local scene? No. Having a handful of new characters will help a lot of new players have entry points into the meta, where they will feel a little bit more comfortable than feeling like they're joining a game whenever it's like almost done in terms of how it feels to play. So I view new characters as another feature of accessibility and Beyond Melee, and getting and in the long term, getting vanilla Melee into the hands of more people over time.
Yeah, every player that we draw in with Beyond Melee is potentially a future Melee player.
Yes, yeah. In terms of like marketing stuff, you will notice that every time a new Smash game comes out, the Melee scene also grows. Accessibility and giving entry points is huge in the marketing funnel of making Melee as a product grow. I'm gonna play Wolf.
Okay, I'm playing Bowser. Oh.
Okay.
A little connection issue. Let's reconnect. Okay. I'll play Zelda.
So there's a lot of parts of the game we refuse to touch because I'm responding to specifically addressing smash turn and slow turnaround. There's a lot of specific aspects of the game that we don't want to touch because we think that Beyond Melee is basically the best possible vanilla Melee tournament side event. And we want to make the game in a way where competitive, serious Melee players will want to play BM before their bracket matches. And the best way to do that is to keep at least the option of making the controls exactly what you expect for vanilla Melee. So things like pivots, out of shield options, dash mechanics, you will always have the option to play with it exactly like vanilla Melee and Beyond Melee. Oh,
We are right
yes,
now.
we are. Your thing might have crashed.
Oh,
You might have to
yeah.
restart. Oh, I do? Ah, yeah, you're right. My bad. Says connected.
Somebody asked why you can't try new characters in Unranked. That's because Unranked is for vanilla Melee.
Yeah, new characters in Unranked, you'll see for Akanea that you can't play Wolf in Unranked either. That is a mechanic that Slippy added to keep people from playing things like Giga Bowser on Unranked. We would love to make a Beyond Melee Unranked in the future. It would probably have to be a separate Slippy build that we'd have to make on our own. Not sure if it's going to happen. That would definitely be nice.
Yes. If it's going to happen, you know, that's another thing where we're reaching out to talented people who can help us make it happen.
Yep, we are down to talk to Slippy Dev. However, I also know that Slippy is, to be frank, in a better spot legally than we are. We've followed all the rules we can, but Slippy is just kind of more careful than this project has been, so there's a lot to figure out there, and we don't really know what will happen. If you take vanilla characters in Beyond Melee, like if you take Beyond Melee Pichu and go onto Unranked, you will instantly desync with your opponent. You just won't notice it.
Yeah, it's basically like you modified your local file system. And someone asked, is there a vanilla version of every character? No.
Not yet.
Every character is a BM version. And there are
Oh,
some
okay,
vanilla
yeah.
characters who don't even have a BM version. We're working on changes to them.
Yes. So you can see that our Pichu, for example, was really, really different than vanilla Melee Pichu. You'll notice that between Bowser and Mario on the character select screen, there is a Luigi and something behind him. We are doing a very extreme rework to Luigi, along with very extreme reworks to Ices and Yoshi and Ness. They are not quite done yet, but they will be. I'm very excited for people to play with them.
Yes, the goal is definitely to have them be more fun than their vanilla counterparts and more fun to play against.
Yep.
I think you'll definitely enjoy what we've done to Luigi.
Two foxes, one that's BM and one that's 1.02. You cannot do that as far as I can tell yet. But that would be neat. I'll bet that we could make that happen, but only at a Wii level, definitely not on Slippy.
Yeah. There are still a lot of technical limitations being worked out with the modding system for Melee.
This is a grown man in a Raichu costume on stage.
Yeah, every day new methods for modding are figured out, and really smart people are working behind the scenes to advance our capabilities. Yeah, there's still a lot of really weird things holding us back, but they're being cracked open every day.
Yep. B-stick doing tilts on the ground. That would be an interesting option. We might actually be limited by the amount of buttons on a GameCube controller in terms of how many different control options we allow. So we might have to end up prioritizing it. I am not sure. We will see. I think it's also noteworthy that I am a box player and I make custom boxes, and I plan on making ones with custom layouts too. So I am all for letting people make what they want. Oh, Raichu's voice actor is Kaylee McKee, Gatsby on Twitter. She is also the voice actor for Faye and the voice actor for the announcer in the game. She did an amazing job, and all three of those things are completely different. We're extremely happy with how her voice work has turned out. We plan on also working with her for future characters as well. All work in progress, all new stuff, but yeah. Yeah, the BM Raichu is a completely original set of voice lines. Get belly flopped on. This does run on Wii, however, it has been mostly tested on Slippy. Most of the development and playtesting for Beyond Melee has been on Slippy first. It's the easiest way for developers to rapidly iterate and play the game. At the very least, we will have full Wii compatibility, and we have it mostly compatible right now, but not fully. There's some stuff that's missing. Everything here is a work in progress, and surprisingly, you would be surprised just how much has changed in this project every day for a very long time, including today. We had a lot of stuff we had to change just today to get everything working right by the time we released.
Yeah, we definitely
There is a
came in
download
hot.
on the website, yes. Ghost Jimmy. Ghost Jimmy says, these animations need some work. Ghost Jimmy, would you like to animate yourself? It is very hard, and we want 3D animators. I appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, animation is definitely the hardest part of any project like this. It's a good thing we have a few very talented animators, but you can always use more.
Oh, Theocrates asked a very good question. If you can add characters, what is stopping you from keeping Vanilla Fox and adding a new character that is BM Fox? Isn't that what Falcon and Ganon are? That is a great question. The reason we didn't do that is because I think about a lot of competitive Melee stuff from the perspective of what seems the most optimal to me and what is the most optimal and dominant option at a time. So with that scenario in mind, it changes what we want to allow and changes if we want to have, for example, 2 foxes, each with different movesets. Beyond Melee is a tournament game first. So with that perspective in mind, it's not very important to keep secondary characters that I don't want in Beyond Melee tournaments around. And also, if you really want to, you can pretty easily mod a Vanilla Fox into Beyond Melee by yourself. It is pretty fun. In general,
Yeah.
it is.
We're going to have a modding section in our Discord server with probably a lot of resources. Like, the devs plan on writing a few guides. There's not much out there right now as far as Melee modding guides, but the Beyond Melee server is going to be one of the best places to go to find that type of stuff pretty soon. And so you'll definitely be able to find out how to add whatever you want to your copy of Beyond Melee.
What is the new character we're the most proud of? Skull Kid has the most unique animations, and his moveset just has a very unique feeling flow to it. It's probably Skull Kid, but also I'm really happy with how Faye turned out as a unique take on a spacey archetype. In general, since we have Fox, Falco, Wolf, and Pichu already as species, Faye was the last one added in that list of space animals, and we got to do a lot of really interesting stuff with her, making her just really not what someone expected. And I feel very similarly about, honestly, both Raichu and Shadow Mewtwo as well. You kind of just asked me which child is my favorite, so that's kind of a difficult decision to make. Bro, just make a new game at this point? We want to. But for now, we will make this instead. I would like to make the game someday.
Yeah, everybody who made this is obviously interested in video games and making them.
Yeah.
And also passionate about Melee, which is why we made this.
Yep. I think in general, Melee's biggest strength is that it has the best movement engine of like any game ever. And making a new rule set instead of characters inside of that environment really excited me. That's kind of why I started the project. And then so into oh, why Faye? So something I'm gonna play Faye. An active choice we made was to not choose characters that we think are pretty likely to be Smash DLC. And Faye is a character from Star Fox 2. There is no way Nintendo would make DLC of Faye. So we also really like, or I really like at least, making characters that are original and not just like a remix of like a PM character or an Ultimate character, for example. So Faye was a completely fresh slate and obviously safe from Nintendo feeling like they're being competed with. So, yeah, that's why Faye was chosen.
Nice.
Oh, I'm dead.
You hit combo. One of them was yours.
This is small FD, that's correct. One of the many changes we made to the stages in Beyond Melee relative to Melee was changing the size of specifically FD. I want you to try playing on it because it makes a lot of the most annoying and repetitive parts of Final Destination less annoying and less repetitive because it makes strings actually end. So we always had planned for RFD to be smaller than vanilla FD. Spaceys have the exact same frame data from vanilla. No frame data has changed. Just the only changes to Fox and Falco are 2 damage numbers. Even the knockback numbers are the same. So if your opponent, or if you know a Fox up smash is going to kill at 70%, it will still kill at 70%. But just after the hit, they'll now be at 76 instead of 78.
Someone asked why Shadow Mewtwo. There's a few reasons. So this project, the scale of it has changed over time. So when Shadow Mewtwo was envisioned, the scale of the project was much different than it is now. Okay, so would we make a character like Shadow Mewtwo today? Maybe not. But we tried to make him as cool as possible for this version. And he is really fun and has some very unique moves. And his moveset is based off Pokken, so Pokken fans should be happy.
Yeah, so Raichu is an interesting case too, because Raichu was originally just going to be Pika Libre in the same way Shadow Mewtwo is just altered Mewtwo. But then we got someone who was really passionate about Raichu on the team, so we decided to turn Pika Libre into Raichu and make an original kit from there. There's really no equivalent to Mewtwo, especially in terms of like reusing animations, capturing the same vibe. So Shadow Mewtwo, even as the scope grew, we both had to stick with him and are totally fine with sticking with him. In general,
He's pretty fun. You should try him out.
Crashed again. In general, sorry, give me a second.
And if you're getting any crashes, they should probably be outside of the game, menu-related stuff. There's going to be hot patches really soon for this kind of stuff. We've been
Very
working
active
through things very actively.
Oh, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, Shadow Mewtwo. So especially once we got the Mega Evolution system working, we knew that he was a pretty special character that we kind of happened into. And we're really happy that he ended up being exactly how he is.
Do you have to restart anything for Waffle?
Waffle, can you see?
How do we make that?
Restreamed.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Can you host a tournament for it? Absolutely.
We are hosting a tournament for it. It will be on Monday. Look at the details in the Beyond Melee Discord.
Yeah, there are tournaments being hosted for it, and you can host a tournament yourself if you want.
And Low Tide City. Low Tide City will be a national with Beyond Melee at it. You should sign up. It'll be a good event otherwise as well. Very excited for that. Beyond the Summit, give me a call. We'll talk about it. Just go to beyondmelee.com/discord.
Probably the biggest character in the game versus the smallest.
Oh, so one thing only very keen eyes would notice about what we did to Pichu is that we made him a lot bigger than he is in Vanilla Melee. This is one of the actual earliest changes in the entire project we did. We knew that we wanted to make Pichu good, but we knew that a good character being small was just really not that fun in the grand scheme of things. So even though he looks kind of weird, he looks like a bobblehead giant plushie character, we knew it was the right choice, and it makes him a lot more engaging to fight against. Certain vanilla characters are unavailable because their redesigns are not completed yet. All the characters we have left are going to have very in-depth redesigns, and we have decided to simply wait until they were done, then release either their vanilla versions or half-baked, half-complete versions. We want everything we release to feel interesting and competitive and fully beyond melee-ified at a tournament level of play. So we are waiting to release until we're ready.
Bowser's actually a lot different. Hazel, do you want to play Bowser to demonstrate?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at Bowser.
There are no changes planned for Yoshi. Yoshi is perfectly designed and will be the only character in Beyond Melee unchanged from vanilla.
That's
a joke.
true.
Oh my god. You got lucky. Oh, shout out to Nyx the Shield for this stage. Oh my god. Someone asked about the announcer. So from the start, we knew we had to change the announcer because there's no announcer line of him saying Skull Kid or any of the other characters we're planning. So from the start, we knew we had to do something different. And we decided to go for a completely fresh announcer vibe. So the goal was like a kind of robot cyberpunk woman voice. And that was also chosen because every other Smash game just has a loud guy yelling for it, and we thought we could do something more interesting. So someone brought up some of the like joke melee mods, like silly melee type stuff. I think those are fun, but what I'm personally interested in is competitive depth, which is a lot harder to make and balance around than just upping numbers in a program. So I think those are very fun like toys people should spend time playing with, but it's just a completely different level than what we're going for here.
Yeah, the amount of thought and care that has gone into the balance changes in this mod is absolutely insane. When I first came onto the project, I did not believe my eyes when I read the changelogs. You should go read them yourself on our website.
Yes, you should read the changelogs. They are massive.
Very in-depth, well-documented changes. It's on beyondmelee.com. You click on changelog. So if you want to know all the minute differences of every character, it's in there.
Triming, do you want to talk about the combo counter and the difference between breakable, string, and true combo?
I wish Janter was here because he programmed it.
Okay. I'll do my best. I
did not touch it.
So DK never left hit stun there. He like couldn't jump out of my side B into fair. He could have DI'd it differently, but he couldn't jump out, meaning that was a true combo. And then strings happen whenever someone has an ability to do an action. And then what was the other one? Breakable. Breakable is whenever you have, I think it's 3 frames or less between the hit stun ending and you becoming actionable. I'm gonna play Faye again. She's
Okay.
my dog.
I'm gonna play Wolf.
The goal is definitely to become a full scene of competitive play, a la PM, yes.
Let's demonstrate the Randall change. This is one of the most interesting changes to a vanilla stage.
Yes.
Randall no longer goes all the way to the stage, so for all you Ledge Dash fans, you'll not have your Ledge Dashes messed up nearly as often on this stage now.
Very nice.
Yeah. Just an example of the type of changes we're trying to make, just to make competition a little less random sometimes. Hazel, do you want to talk about some of the RNG things we've removed?
Yes, absolutely. So Peach mains are either going to love or hate what we've done. I'm honestly not sure, but we took away her RNG entirely. So she only pulls normal turnips until she's dealt 100% or 300%, and then she pulls a stitch after that. This makes it so that you'll see one thing Peach mains do. Oh, come here, Randall. Dang it. One thing Peach mains do between stocks is they knit really hard to try and find good turnips. Or in floatier matchups, they'll camp and pull turnips a little bit more than they might have to, because they feel like they need to, work the RNG. That's like the optimal play. But now, because there's no RNG to it, Peach can kind of play the game a little bit more normally and always have consistent turnips. There's no more camping for turnips, no more knitting between stocks, stuff like that. a lot more player agency than RNG agency, which is a big way to make this game feel a lot more competitive.
Yeah, and so removing RNG will be a big part of the design of Game & Watch that we come up with when he's added to the game.
Yes.
Just a hint.
Yep.
Just a sneak peek. Is there any RNG left at all?
There is some very light RNG left, for example, Sheik needle height, but it's like RNG that people don't even know exists, so it doesn't affect decision making. My specific
Also,
threshold of how important an RNG thing is to change is if it affects decision making or not.
I think, damn it, Heather has. based
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Target
our
test
Samus
videos I
has
watched.
RNG. I would like to fix that. I don't know
Yeah.
if we can, but Samus's Heathers are very weird to work with in Melee modding.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my hands all over the code for Samus. I recoded her charge shot from scratch to be able to make you charge it in the air, which was fun. Yeah, some of the small changes in this game that just seem like something very little took multiple days to do because of how difficult it is to mod a 20-year-old game when you
Yes.
don't have
Yeah.
any kind of source code or anything.
We plan on eventually showing all of our source code. That'll be the most insane public character source code for a Melee mod ever by far, so I'm excited to get that going. One thing most of y'all won't know about, does it show pauses on? It doesn't. So there's a little swipe next to Faye's back here right there. And there's a lot of other little effects in this game that we had to hand code. One of our lead coders spent months recoding an entire trail system into Melee just to make our game look that much prettier. And help with specifically Luigi's new friend's visibility was one of the other reasons for it.
Yeah. I'll demonstrate a character with trails next.
Oh, we have to show Wasteland next too.
Yeah. And
R.I.P. Wispy.
R.I.P. Wispy.
There will be more characters eventually. Yes, we have a lot of ideas in mind. And if you want to see them, the Patreon is the best way to make them happen sooner than later. Who are you going to play with Trails?
Young Link.
And like, okay, I'll play Skull Kid. And let's go to... I want to
Okay,
go
so-
to
A
Wasteland.
different stage? Yeah.
I want to go to Wasteland.
Oh, sorry. So I'll just demonstrate for a second. These sword trails are completely programmed by our team, specifically Fennel. Shoutouts to Fennel. He's crazy in a good way. And we plan on adding these to like every character in the game eventually, every new character. They're really beautiful.
You can
Skull
see
Kid
them
also-
on Skull Kid's up air as well. These are all hand-coded from scratch by the Beyond Melee team. Custom codes. All right, let's wait.
Yeah, the source code for that is many thousands of lines long. And involves a lot of high-level math.
Oh, whenever you get your hands on Wasteland, take a look at the Coke cans strewn about. I
No,
won't
there's
spoil
nothing
it
on
here
them.
and now. There is still item drop RNG. That is something I've considered, but I am not sure what the solution might be. That's one of those things that if we had another year of development, we would have figured out the right plan for it. We'll probably do something like after you get hit holding an item, after 2 hits, you'll drop it. That's probably what we'll do. But for now, there is still item drop RNG, and I would like to change that. I love that get up animation. Wispy is Pepe hands. That's yes.
Yeah, there were a lot of jokes about Wispy during the development. R.I.P. Wispy.
R.I.P. Wispy.
But, I mean, you can still travel back in time to when he was alive. Dreamland is still in the game.
For now. Oh, I haven't shown Skull Kid's back throw yet. I'll get it. There we go. I love that back throw.
Misfire RNG is not in the game because Luigi is not currently playable, but when he comes back, there will be no Misfire RNG. I can guarantee that.
Yep, there will be no Misfire RNG. I also despise mashing. I think it's just a really bad mechanic that has no skill involved. And Luigi's down B is also very heavily changed.
Yes.
Stay tuned for future updates.
Very excited for...
Oh, do they have taunts? Do they have taunts? Let me taunt.
Yes, they do.
We do not have any kind of Uncle Punch training mode pack. We are way too rushed for time to set up anything like that. But in the future, we would like to work out something like that. Maybe in-house, or we'll talk to Uncle Punch. We'll see.
Yes, that would definitely fit right in the project. It's just not something we had time to make.
Yep, we got a lot of stuff going on.
There is a lot of potential with the mod tools now. They've
I'm gonna
gotten
keep playing
rapidly
Skull Kid.
better. Okay. This is an all-time classic Shadow Mewtwo versus Skull Kid matchup.
One thing I'm really excited to see from the scene as a whole is matchup spreads for characters. Because I do not know how Shadow Mewtwo does against Pichu and Skull Kid. And I'm so curious what matchups Shadow Mewtwo mains are going to be complaining about. Nice.
Ah.
Oh, you should taunt. You should taunt. Oh, so one thing I saw about Shadow Mewtwo is he does not have a comeback mechanic. I do not like comeback mechanics. It is a momentum-based mechanic. You only get meter by getting hits, and you lose meter by getting hit. It is the opposite of a comeback mechanic. You could have grabbed me.
Yeah.
You need to work on your Shadow Mewtwo decision making.
Yeah. I've been training for a long time, but it's just not there yet. Okay. Thank you, Fountain of Dreams, for having a high ceiling.
You can definitely steamroll people, for sure. Shadow Mewtwo can be a steamroll character. But, like, what character in Melee can't?
Yeah, but I'm definitely not going to be steamrolling Hemyojo anytime soon.
If you grind really hard in the Skull Kid Shadow Mewtwo matchup, you might. We'll see.
I was one of the best in the world at it until like an hour ago.
Oh, we are jabbing right now. Yeah.
Have you made any changes to tech skill inputs to make them more consistent?
We have auto L cancel.
Yep.
As a toggle.
Oh, we should show that. Yeah, so there's auto L cancel, and for anyone who's a fan of later Smash games, you can also turn off tap jump. Both optional.
For anyone who's a fan of later Smash games or up tilting, you can also turn off tap jump.
Yeah.
No! Can any new character bonk dash? Good question. I don't yet know the answer. Wait, you know what? No. No characters can because we changed Battlefield's collisions. So I'm sorry, but we've actually nerfed bonk dash.
Yeah. And someone says turning off tap jump is for the weak. Well, it's good that you'll be able to tell who has it on and who has it off, because there is an on-screen indicator. Oh, dang it.
Oh, I think
we,
we're supposed to be wrapping up anyway. So
yeah.
I think that's good for now.
That's gonna do it.
Yeah. Join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Feel free to ask any more questions on Twitter or Discord as well. We will be around until Nintendo doesn't want us to be anymore, and then we will disappear mysteriously. Yeah, we're signing off. Yep. So follow me on Twitter at HamYojo. More importantly, though, follow at Beyond_Melee on Twitter and go to BeyondMelee.com to download and try out the game. Beyond Melee development team, I love y'all guys. You have really made this dream project come true. Homemade Waffles, you're also a part of that. This has been absolutely amazing. And I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate everyone watching. Yeah, I'll be around. Y'all have a good one.